What's up, Internet? My name is Michael Cook, this is Blue Giant Media, and we're here to connect through gaming. Today we're going to be taking a look at Good Cop, Bad Cop. This is the most recent printing from Pull the Pin Games. We're going to go ahead and set the game up, get a feel for the rule set, and then we'll come back and I'll let you know what I do like, what I don't like, and who I think may or may not like Good Cop, Bad Cop. Good Cop, Bad Cop is a social deduction type game where some people are going to be good cops and some people are going to be bad cops, and you're going to be basically working to try and figure out who's who and take out the bad guys or take out the good guys. So we're going to go ahead and start by opening this up and separating it basically by the number of players, because there's going to be some of these cards that show in the corner. Like this says 5+, that means it's only going to be used in games with 5 or more players. We're going to go ahead and set the game up as if there were 4 players, which is the lowest count that you can have. Right, taking those out. Got the Kingpin, got the Agent, got some crooked cops, got some honest cops. All right. And you can do the same thing with the guns. You can see this has got a 5+ on it. This has got a 7+ on it. So we'll go ahead and set those aside as well. So we're just going to need 2 of these, and we can grab the stands that go with them so that we can point them at players. So that's what that's going to do. I'm going to go ahead and turn them like this so that you can see what's going on. So I'll go ahead and put these nifty little stands back in the box. So what we'll do is take out the Agent and the Kingpin cards, because we need to make sure that those go out to somebody. Then we're going to shuffle this up, and we're going to add enough cards to it to make it so there's the number of players, in this case 4. So we'll go ahead and flip that over and make sure that there's 4 here. Then we would mix this up. Deal 1 to each player, then take the remaining ones and deal them out. That's to make sure that nobody ends up getting both the Kingpin and the Agent, because if we start to look at these, this person is going to be an honest cop because the honest is in the majority. This person is going to be a crooked cop, both because they're in the majority, but also because they've got the Kingpin. Even if they had 2 honest cops, but then the Kingpin is like a trump. It takes over. Then it makes it so that this would be a crooked group anyway. Same thing is going to apply with the Agent. If, for instance, it had been like this is still an honest group because the Agent keeps them in line. And even though these are honest cops, the Kingpin just has too much muscle to work over these honest cops, and this is still going to be a crooked player. So then we'll go ahead and put the equipment in the middle of the table along with the guns, and we can go ahead and set these aside as well. And whoever the first player is, you're going to go ahead and give them this little piece right here, which is going to walk them through a turn. Okay, so on your turn, you're going to do one of 4 things when you take an action. You can investigate, which means you're going to, let's say this player is the active player. They get to choose one other card out here and look at it. They see that this person has 1 honest card. That alone doesn't tell them anything, but if they got lucky and pulled the Kingpin, now they know for a fact who that is. Then they know that they are honest. So maybe on future turns they might want to be able to take a gun, which I'll get to that, but the other thing that you can do is to equip. When you equip, you draw a card. In this case, this is a card that allows you on a later turn, you can use it to investigate any 2 players, which means you get to look at one of their hidden cards, like I just showed. But whenever you take an equipment card, you're going to have to flip over one of these. So now that maybe since I just revealed that Kingpin, I'm going to want to reveal this crooked cop, so he thinks, very nice, he's on my team. Then another thing that you could do is arm yourself. To arm yourself, you take a gun, and you must immediately aim it at somebody. And so here I'm aiming right on over there. So now they might not be as happy, but the thing is I am not able to shoot until the beginning of my next turn because I can only do one of these things. After I've chosen one of those 4 actions, I'm going to take aim. If I'm holding the gun, I must aim it at another player. So that's when I have the option to change who I'm aiming at if I still possess the gun at my next turn. But the thing is, you have to aim it at somebody. So it's tricky. You know, I revealed that. I know that that's the kingpin. I revealed this crooked, trying to maybe signal to them, hey, it's okay, I'm on your team. I point this gun. Maybe they're thinking, okay, it could either be a bluff, or it could be this person trying to say, hey, I don't know anything else. I'm not going to... I don't think that'd be a very good strategy, but anyway, you have to aim at somebody. After you have done one of your 4 actions, you take the aim, and then you pass to the next person. So let's go ahead and say, it's come back around the table. This player still has the gun aimed at this person. Now they could choose to actually shoot this person. So they shoot them, then this player has to reveal who they are. So they go ahead and flip these over, and here's the kingpin. Now, if they had anything other than that, if they had just 3 regular cards, that player is eliminated. But since they have the kingpin, and this is true for the agent as well, you're not immediately eliminated. You're going to go ahead and take a wounded token and an equipment card. So you have to be basically shot twice if you are the kingpin or the agent. Now you can only have 1 equipment card, but they can be pretty useful. This one's okay, but this one is really useful. It allows you to take a turn after the current turn ends, because these can be used at any time, even during somebody else's turn, even after someone has announced what they're doing, but before they actually do it. So then there are some cards that can drastically affect that. So if I see this gun pointed and this person says, I'm going to shoot, you can be like, I have an equipment card. You know, they haven't announced who they're going to shoot yet, even though it's kind of obvious. But basically, unless the action card, the equipment card says that you cannot play it out of turn or it has to be played at a certain time, it can be played at any time. Which, if this player had it, they could, on one turn, aim the gun and then immediately say, I'm going to use this coffee and I'm going to take another turn so I can shoot you. Or if they had just shot them, they could use the coffee to shoot them again by taking another turn right away. So these can be really, really useful. If the kingpin is killed, then the honest players win, even the ones that are eliminated. If the agent is killed, likewise, the crooked players, even the ones that are eliminated, are going to win. If somehow, because there are some of these that allow people to move cards around, if somehow somebody ends up with both the agent and the kingpin on their team, then that player instantly automatically wins. Now that you have a pretty good idea of how to set up and play through Good Cop, Bad Cop, I want to let you know what I do like about the game. First off, I'm going to say I do not like social deduction games. I don't like bluffing games. There are very few of those types of games that I like at all. So I will, with that preface, say the game's okay. I realize that that's very mild for what I like about the game is that it's okay, but considering it's a social deduction game, that it's okay is, it's good for, I think, most people who like these types of games. So for me, it's okay. I like that there's you can kind of figure things out. I really like the equipment cards. I think that they can be really interesting. They can turn the game and turn your choices quite a bit. So I like the equipment cards a lot. The theme is okay. I think it's interesting that the kingpin can basically overpower honest cops if he's surrounded by them, and the agent can keep the crooked cops in line. I think that's interesting. And the ability to kind of move cards around can make that really interesting, because if you can get them both on the same team, then you're set, you win. There's things that I don't like. Player elimination, bluffing, social deduction games. So now that that's out of the way, the box doesn't really make much sense to me. I get that this is supposed to be the company, like they're kind of trying to make a thing of who they are. But this is the same for their other games, and it just doesn't fit to me. I do like that it's a small form factor. I think that's nice. But overall, the sleeve thing, I mean, you can see I've hardly played this, and it's not durable. So eventually this is going to come off, and this is just going to be a thing on the shelf, which, yes, it's got a nice magnetic hinge, and that's nice. it's not very big, and that's nice. And on the inside, it says what it is, but I don't get it. I prefer a box. Now, that is going to help the price quite a bit, but I don't know what the MSRP is going to sit at. I don't know what... I don't like the packaging very much. Other things that I don't like, the artwork's just meh. It almost is one of those types of things where it could benefit from something like Cash and Guns, where you got some foam guns, but then the cost of production goes up, and is the game really worth that? That's a whole nother debate. But the artwork and components are meh. So I'm going to kind of skip over the things, some more of the things that I like and don't like, because there's not very much and they get repetitive. Let's move on to the things that I think people who may actually like social deduction games may like about this game. First off, the equipment cards. They can be really interesting. The ability to take a second turn, one right after the other, really turns on a head the fact that you have to, take aim and then wait a turn and then fire. During that interim, someone could take the gun from you. And now, what are you gonna do? So being able to turn things on their head by drinking a shot of coffee, that's pretty sweet. Being able to, bust a move right there. So that's pretty cool. If you shoot the agent or the kingpin, they get an equipment, they reveal everything, but they're still in. That turns the game on its head too, because now maybe the agent is going to steal that kingpin card and claim things. Maybe that kingpin, now that they're revealed, they get that equipment, and that gives them the boost that they need, and they can still end up winning even after you get shot. So I think that that's pretty interesting. I think that a lot of people will enjoy that kind of that element of the game that's not necessarily there in every social deduction type game. Because like in Bang, when you're out, you're out. This, at least for those players who are the agent and the kingpin, you have a little bit extra. And if you do get eliminated, you can still win. So there's that. Some people are going to like the theme because it's not something that's seen a lot in gaming. So there is that. And let's move on to things that I think people may not like. And this kind of throws back to something I should have said for me as well. I wish that I could get the equipment cards more often. The first couple rounds are kind of either you're trying to figure out who everybody is and keep your card as close to your vest, which makes the game go kind of slowly. And I think that's, people take it too seriously, and that sort of defeats the purpose of a social deduction game, which is one of the reasons why I like games that are taken more seriously. Or someone kind of goes haphazard and starts just taking the gun and pointing it at people, taking equipment, revealing who they are, and throw caution to the wind, I'm going to use this equipment. So I wish that there might be a way to get equipment more readily, because I think that the equipment is the most interesting part. That may end up breaking the game though, but that's still, to me, the pacing of the game just felt a little bit weird. And if you're like me and you just don't like social deduction games, this is a game that if your buddy asks you to play, you might be like, okay, fine, it's okay. But it's a social deduction game, so you're probably not going to ask to play it. So that, I'm going to go ahead and close out my thoughts. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the spotlight off of Good Cop, Bad Cop by Pull the Pin Games. If you want to know more about this game, you can take a look in the description section where you can find a link to my unboxing, and you can also find a link there to MacroNovaGames.com where you can buy hundreds of great games. Until next time, I want to thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see, and let me know in the comment section below if you've got any feedback, some questions, corrections, any of that kind of good stuff. And as always, have a wonderful day.